about to have like
more
20 or 30
go
babies,
first.
and then they're all gonna do the same
So
thing.
a nesting mound is just a big mound?
It's a mound. It'll usually is near a bush. It's, you know, like, let's say this is the soil. It's about like that. But in general, if you have 1,000 of them, you need to mow that field to destroy the whole complex.
The tunnels.
Unfortunately.
Rats and mice in my chicken coop and my greenhouse now.
You don't have cats?
We get that.
I have a cat, he's lazy.
Get us some barn cats.
Okay.
That's why people have barn cats. They don't come in your house.
Yeah.
But my cat will just nail them. I would have no
Just
problem
don't feed
with
your
rats
cat.
and mice.
Cats nail all kinds of stuff though.
The problem is they'll nail birds if you encourage them to. Make sure they're not getting birds. Although the weirdest thing happened to me,
You don't want to.
I went in the bathroom to use the toilet, and I opened the toilet, and there's a bird in there, and it's dead. And I'm like, the toilet was closed. How did it get in there? So all I could figure is the cat somehow stuck it in there.
Oh my God.
So I just came up in this last rain, I came up with an idea that I hadn't done, and in the middle of the rain I had to run out and do it because I couldn't stand it. I don't have underground drainage for the water, for the downspouts. I'd have these plastic tubes that run it off, and I've been watching that water run off the lot, and so I ran out with a drill and I drilled on the bottom of these tubes. And now I have no water coming out of the end of any of my downspouts. It's all going exactly where I need it. Now I just take the tubes and I'm like moving them around to water different areas. It's
so you're talking about the
exciting.
black crinkly tubes, and you just drilled holes. That's smart.
So my trick to figuring out how to keep, I did it wrong, so you guys don't. The green line put exactly on the top and drill exactly opposite to it, so you know when it gets twisted, and you know to be able to measure it.
Thank you.
That's
You have to go re-drill them.
So what makes
that's what that line
what makes gardening so much easier, or taking care of your property so much easier, is integrating animals into your property.
That was the whole workshop.
Oh.
So one of the things that makes it easier, besides good design for low maintenance, is to integrate animals into your property. So I have a food forest orchard that ducks and chickens are in, and I just want to mention the difference between the two. Ducks will lay for 10 to 15 years.
Whoa.
Chickens lay for 2 to 3 years. Yeah, ducks, they could care less if it's snowing or raining. Chickens have to be indoors. I mean, you have to protect them all from predators. But my ducks stay outside in the yard, I mean not the food forest, but in their little fenced-in yard, where the chickens always go inside the little coopy thing because they don't like to be wet. Chickens eat more than ducks. So I find that a chicken in a garden will just scratch and eat everything, where the ducks don't. They just like to go around and get bugs. So yeah, I think they're great. I mean, chickens are pretty cool though. I mean, do you know that a chicken has about 100 phrases that they say? And when I lived in co-housing, there was a woman, Catherine, who really had an attitude towards the chickens. You know, she didn't like them, but she went and got the eggs on her day and stuff. And this one right here flew up on her head and pooped right on her head. I know why she doesn't like chickens. It's like, God, those chickens are so smart. But, you know, in the old days, yeah, she's a beauty. She's such a sweet chicken. But here's the thing that, I mean, in the old days, no one went to the store and bought chicken feed.
Yeah.
Yeah? And chickens don't really like grains that much. So what they will like are
Grubs.
they like grubs and worms and mealworms and black soldier flies, which you can grow. And I teach how to do these at my classes. And the mealworms, in a pinch, they're good to eat. They eat them all over the world. So they
bake with them.
They bake with them. They put them on ice cream, and they're really easy to grow. So if you can possibly, it's good to sprout the grain for the chickens, because then it's much healthier for them. I want to talk for just a minute about where to plant a garden, because I heard Renette say the other day, I have no place on my property where I can plant a garden. Well, anywhere where you have 6 to 8 hours a day, you can plant a garden. You want to be away from large trees, and make sure you check the soil for good drainage. That means you make a hole, fill it with water, let it drain, fill it again, and time how long that it takes the water to go down. If it takes more than 24 hours, it's going to be too marshy. It's not going to have good drainage. But you can grow in containers then, which is a good thing. But get really creative. I mean, all over the world now, they're starting to plant on buildings, which is really cool. This is a front yard in Auburn. This guy was so proud of his garden. It just had all kinds of edibles there. I mean, it was really sweet, so I parked and went and talked to him. And it was just a nice place. This is the Start Now farm. This is in Washington. And they grow only on roofs.
Is it strawberries?
And they grow a lot of different things. But that, in this picture, it's strawberries. They grow enough to have a farmer go to the farmer's market. I already showed you this one. But in a small space, use trellises. So many things can grow on trellises. I mean, this is how you get a lot of space. By the way, if you go to my Facebook, which is Practical Permaculture, I've got 26 plants that can grow in the shade, 26 vegetables that can grow in the shade. And lettuce is one of them.
Do you have that on your website? Because I don't do Facebook.
You can go to my Facebook without doing it. Just go to Practical Permaculture and you can look at it. And then scroll down and you'll see it. But anyway, the thing about lettuce that most people don't realize, it's daylight sensitive and it will bolt when the season that it's used to being in changes. So there's 4 seasons lettuce, and Cook's Garden has these amazing different, like spring lettuce, fall and winter lettuce, summer lettuce. So check these out because that's how you get success with lettuce.
So it's not the heat that makes them bold?
No, it's the daylight.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Once you figure that out, you'll have really good lettuce patches.
Awesome.
Okay? And they've just got some really nice lettuces on their websites. Oh, I already told you about that. I already showed you that. Okay, just about to the end. Yeah. What's happening here? Oh, I want to mention mycelium. So when we were looking at the hugelkultur out there, I was digging around in it and looking at the mycelium. And what the mycelium is the link between fungi and the root of the plant. So it hooks in. And whenever you see this white stringy stuff, then you know you have a mycelium net, which is like the telephone system of nature. And that's how the plant orders up what it needs from nature. Nitrogen fixture cover crops make these nodules. And as I already mentioned, Peaceful Valley has just an amazing selection. People always ask me, or Elaine Ingham was asking me, what cover crops do you like here? And I said, I like perennial clover. You know, you don't have to do anything to it.
Love clover.
And what I want to do, they don't at my place, yeah. But try perennial clover though. And I'm going to take the lawn, there's pasture in front of my house, and I'm moving it all into clover. Because then you don't have to do anything to it. So saving seeds, I know some of you are at my saving seed talk.
Your sexy talk.
Yeah, the sex talk, sex ed. Seeds are it's kind of stunning what's going on with seeds. You know, there's 3 kinds of seeds: open pollinated, which means it'll come true; hybrid, which means it takes 5 generations of growing it out for it to come true. But don't not grow hybrid. If you find a hybrid you love, like I love Sweet 100 cherry tomatoes, and if you grow them out 5 times, they'll totally be open pollinated to your location.
Wow.
And then if, you can't buy GM or GE seeds; they won't sell them to you. But this is what I want to show you: is who owns the seed companies. So these are all the independent seed companies in 1996. All right, and the big guys, who happen to be the biotech companies and the chemical companies, bought them out and consolidated. It's kind of scary. That's why you want your own collection of seeds. All right, and this is really the seed industry as of 2008. And these are all the big boys that own it. And it's very rare now to have independent seed companies. So,
but there are some, right?
There are some, and there is
Seed
on the
Savers
web,
Exchange.
there's a list
Peaceful Valley.
of seed companies that are independent seed companies that aren't genetically modified. So as far as I'm concerned, self-reliance means saving your own seeds that have been selected for your eco-niche, and to create a nursery so that you can reproduce plants that you want to have a lot of on your property. But I do want to introduce you to the idea of drought-tolerant seeds. When I lived in the desert, I used to